What's that you're holding?
That is a new Viking sword, authentic, with twisted pommel and offset from center as well.
Looks
Very
nice. Can you get a close-up?
Sure.
Wait a second. That's too close. It's fine. Her. Så close-up, det er cirka her. Ja, der. Okay. Turn it around.
You can see that it is with the twisted pommel.
Yeah. It looks kind of like this one, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I got two of them. Two hands, two swords.
Two swords. So these are totally friend swords. Yeah, these are numbered fittings made by Alban Depper, and the blades are made by Atelier Thibault. Very nice blades. These are with 1.5, 2 millimeter edge, bit more at the point.
Around 880 grams,
Yeah.
but it really wants to hit.
And the balance point is, I measured mine at 20 centimeters from the hilt.
Yeah, it's something similar.
My grip is 9.5 centimeters, and it's twisted around, I would say, 5 degrees to the left, because I'm a righty. This is up and this is down, and I mounted it slightly asymmetrical off center to give me a slight push towards the outside. And
this is mounted by Thibault, exactly according to Roland's essay-ish on
essay-ish.
with drawings and stuff.
Yeah, it's mounted.
It's an essay.
Yeah, it is an essay. So it's mounted according to the research that Roland Bartzecher has made about this particular sword, and we opted for the silver thread extra, which is not undefined. And
but there are recesses in the find that shows that it could be mounted.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to know more about this, I suggest you look at Alban's. I think it's on his Facebook page, Northern Viking Jewelry, where he goes through the process of making it. This is number 7.
And I think this is number 8.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I saw the numbers. I know it's number 7. So I mounted it myself, and the binding here is on mine is string, lin string, and glued on with hide glue. And this outer layer is a very thin piece of goat hide that's glued and stretched over the string, which gives this nice texture, which is really nice to grip. And it's kind of inspired by Per's grip here, which Thibault, of course, made. And I don't know how they made this, but I was inspired to make mine. Mine is a little rougher to look at, but they have very nice texture to grip, both of them.
The handle and handle design that I asked for is also according to the graphics model that Roland has made on his essay in relation to a complete sword.
Okay. So this, the blade is 77 centimeters, and the pivot point is about 40 centimeters from the hilt.
Like that.
Yeah. No, you grip the pommel. Yeah. So that's the pivot point there, and if you grip it here, well, it's about the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, that's about the same. Well, anyway, the handling is very, very nice. It is an extremely light sword, also very light in comparison to the most of the found swords from the Viking period.
But these are made hollow according to the
Yeah,
found.
and that brings the weight very much down because it's not a big heavy pommel. Many of the very heavier swords have a much larger grip, and also many of them have wider blades, some of them longer even. But it handles very much like a sharp sword, and it does not feel like a light sword. I at all times know where the point is because of the blade presence. The balance point is out here, but it doesn't feel like it's heavy. It doesn't feel dead because of weight, because the weight is not concentrated at the point. It's more like a sharp sword where the weight is down here. Obviously, if it was sharp, it would be even lighter at the tip, which means that it would be even more agile, even if it had forward weight. But it doesn't tip like many reenactment blades I have tried. It doesn't do this kind of tip because of a heavy point, because this point is not that heavy. It's quite stiff, but it's still nice and flexible on the other side, and you can see it bends not like a parabola. It bends more towards the point, and it should do that. So if it bends like a parabola, it's very much like it has similar stiffness all along the blade, and many reenactment blades that I have seen and touched, they bend close to a parabola, and this one bends more towards the end, which means that the stiffness of the blade is reduced towards the point. So because of the tapering of the thickness, which is not as pronounced on these because they have an edge thickness. Mm-hmm. If it was a sharp sword, should be even more. Mm-hmm. So then they would be bending even more towards the end. But yeah, they are extremely nice to fence with, and because of the twist, you can really feel that you can extend your arm because your wrist is not bent weirdly, because you have to hold on this side of it.
And it's very easy to use the long edge on both sides.
Yeah. So you might even, if you in some sort of strike where you would, for many swords, would change into a thumb grip, like in sword and buckler, that happens very often. We use it very often anyway. You changing to the thumb grip to do a strike on the left side. You could easily do this simply by raising your hand and pulling your elbow in and strike on this side as well, because of the twisted pommel and because the pommel design is flat like this, so it sits in your hand. So it's much easier just to do a very quick change to this rather than changing the grip.
Pushing.
I mean, you can obviously do both.
Yeah,
what?
Sure. Yeah, pushing with your root of the hand.
Yeah.
And lifting the pommel.
So you push. You push the base of your palm. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. Base of the palm.
Yeah. Probably.
So you push this out towards the left as you pivot the blade around the pivot point, and you pull your elbow in, because if your elbow is out, you sort of wrench your wrist. But if you pull your elbow in, you have still the sword almost in as an elongation of your lower arm. So that's why you push the pommel and your elbow like so.
And you have a lot of control because you have this kind of like a hook, so it will not slide out as if with a round blade pommel.
That's true. If you have a disc pommel, if you do this, you are more likely to be disarmed because you have less grip on it. But since you have the whole thing inside your grip, you can easily disarm it. So you can easily disarm it. So you push the pommel out towards the left as you pivot the blade around the pivot point, and you pull your elbow in, because if your elbow is out, you sort of wrench your wrist. But if you pull your elbow in, you have still the sword almost in as an elongation of your lower arm. So that's why you push the pommel and your elbow like so.
And you have a lot of control because you have this kind of like a hook, so it will not
squeezing it with your pinky and your ring finger, it does not tend to slip out, we find, anyway.
Feels like you have a lot of control.
Yeah. Also, because you have this grip, we've been fencing with it just a little bit and trying out some techniques, getting used to the blades and getting used to using large shields again, because that's been a while.
Yeah.
And then we find that that you have a very nice sense of the edge of the blade, so you really know where the sword is. Also, you can the strikes with both the long edge and the short edge and the point, you very much know where the blade is because of this grip design. Also,
You're very, very point
the whole
aware.
thing is absolutely beautiful. It's
Definitely.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful swords. So excellent work by
the combination of
Alban and Thibaut, and
the French
obviously
and the
the
English.
research of Roland.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Most expensive sword I ever bought.
Du kan godt mærke det. Ja, også, den er god tung, den dør der.
Den er god. Det er klart træningsskjorte.
Skal vi tage en mere?
Ja.
Altså det stik, der ligger der,
Den kan komme så langt frem.
det er mega godt med det sværd her.
Ja.
Det er bare sådan helt, den skyder bare lige ind.
Det her det er et kort ethåndsspyd.
Ja, det minder 100% om en ethåndsspyd. Fordi man bare vipper den op der, og så stikker lige frem.
Og den er så god at forlænge.
Og alle de stik, der ligger herinde, som ligger til kroppen,
Ja.
de er flade alle sammen. Altså ribben og sådan noget, ikke?
Jo.
Fordi at du holder den, du stikker ikke sådan her herinde, vel?
Nej, så gror den ikke imellem ribbenene.
Nej, men det her er også meget bedre.
Ja.
Kontrolmæssigt, ikke?
Jo.
Hvorimod herop, så ruller du den bare op, ikke?
Jo.
Og de laver sig sådan der ud, og de høje sig sådan der ud. Ja. Simpelthen bare op over. Ja. Fuldstændig ligesom vi gør med ethåndsspydene.
Ja.
Fedt. Der kommer også lidt fart på her til sidst, det var fedt nok.
Ja, men det er fedt nok. Hvis man bare hvis man fokuserer på fægtningen og ikke så meget på at ramme,
Ja.
så kan man sagtens speede op og lege med det.
Ja, det er også helt klart sjovere.
Jo. Det er det.
Så ja.
Især når man er lidt rusten i sine teknikker, så er det bare det at komme i gang igen med den her type våben.
Ja. Ej, de er satme fede.
Ja.
Må jeg ikke lige prøve de eller? Ja, det er altså også lækkert det her. Du kan godt mærke, at jeg har flyttet min pommel en anelse den vej, ikke?
Jo.
Så der er lidt mere plads herinde i hånden.
Jo.
Bare en anelse.
Jo.
Men du har så til gengæld lidt bedre fat.
Ja, fordi at min den ligger. Ja, man kan næsten se det der, hvor at pommelen den ligger næsten helt inde i hånden.
Ja. Men du har faktisk lidt bedre fat på dit, end jeg har på mit. Eller jeg har bedre, hvis jeg holder ved dit, så har jeg bedre fat, end når jeg holder ved mit. Til gengæld, så synes jeg, at så ligger den der tættere inde i min hånd der.
Ja.
Der så har jeg lidt mere plads der.
Jeg tror faktisk, at det her greb her gør det lidt nemmere at skifte greb. Altså den er
fordi det runder.
Der er du locked ind.
Ja.
Altså du har pissegodt greb her, men du er locked ind sådan. Ja. Altså det skal i hvert fald trænes.
Ja. Jeg kan godt se, hvad du mener.
Altså jeg føler,
det er også meget slankere det her.
Jeg føler, at den kan jeg meget hurtigt lige kaste derom.
Ja. Det minder jo også rigtig meget om min 133 håndtag.
Ja.
Men en ting, som det kan vi jo lige se her også. Altså, de to greb her, de er jo ikke langt fra hinanden. Mit er mere asymmetrisk, men når man så vender det på siden, så kan man jo se, at dit det er meget slankere end mit er.
Ja.
Så min har meget mere tynde form der. Og det er jo altså super meget smag og behag, hvad man godt kan lide. Jeg kan godt lide det, fordi det gør, at jeg synes, jeg har bedre kontrol med de her fingre. Så når jeg skal klemme der, så kan jeg godt lide, at der ikke er for langt ind til for det. Og det er det, jeg har vendt mig til med mit middelaldersværd også.
Ja. Men du kan allerede se det nu, hvor det ligger. Altså pommelen ligger dybt i hånden, og det er den nederste del af håndtaget, der bliver brugt til at kontrollere med.
Men det kan jo også godt vise, at jeg finder ud af, at jeg synes, det her at det skal laves om. Men det er jo det gode ved at lave det selv. Så kan man jo bare pille det fra hinanden og lave det om.
Ja.
Så.
Det kan man også, når det her det er godt slidt. Lige nu der vil jeg absolut ikke gøre noget som helst.
Det er klart. Nå, men det kan være, at vi skal sige tak for i aften så. Med de her fancy sværd. Så. Tak for i aften.
Tak for i aften. Hold kæft, det er det, sådan spyd, mand.